converted to Catholicism. This is not the way of God. The essential things in history always begin with the small, more convinced communities, like Confraternity of Christian Mothers. So the church begins with the 12 apostles, and even the Church of St. Paul, diffused in the Mediterranean, are little communities. But this community in itself is the future of the world, because we have the truth and the force of conviction. So I think also today it should be an error to think that now or in 10 years, with the new springtime, all people will be Catholic. That's not our future, not our expectation. But will we have really convinced communities with the élan of faith? Yes? This is the springtime, a new life in very convinced persons with the joy of faith. Cardinal Ratzinger to Raymond Arroyo. So that is, I think, in his mind, the Holy Father's mind, previous Holy Father, the way forward for the church. Precisely the kind of association you have here, a small, convinced community with strong and consistent Christian belief, providing that plausibility structure for the transmission of the faith. And we've seen in the life of the CCM in France how that can produce astonishing spiritual fruit, like the life of Thérèse of Lisieux, like the life of Elizabeth Lesueur, like the life of Dom Chotard, people who radically transformed the church in their day and throughout the world. Now, in spite of the church's losses numerically in the United States, we are seeing a radical sea change in the religious landscape of the United States. Joseph Bottom, the one-time editor of First Things, has been for years now writing a book that he hasn't finished that I can't wait to read, How Catholicism Replaced Protestantism as America's National Church, the Catholic Awakening. And more or less, the title tells you the thesis, that mainline Protestantism has vanished from the scene, vanished from significance in North America, precisely because of its loss of belief. As they have lost belief in their own creed, they've lost significance, and therefore they've lost members head over heels. All right? And what the Catholic faith has to offer is 2,000 years of unchanging Christian tradition that is bringing a real tidal wave of converts into the church, into these small Christian communities. I had the delightful experience last week of attending a baptism. My friend John Tidwell, who some of you all know, was having his fifth child, Samuel, baptized, and we were at the cathedral. And the Wrights were there, his godparents, Nathan Wright, and his family. John was there, my family was there. So between us, we had 5, 10, 16 children, another Catholic friend, 17. The only non-Catholic there was a grandmother. And Father Donahoe did the baptism. I looked at her and I thought, every single person in here is a convert. The priest is a convert, all the parents are converts, all the babies are converts. So actually, the babies are not converts. They're cradle Catholics, right? They're the children of converts. And I thought, okay, this is like this almost is a Catholic church right here. We got enough people we could probably start a parish. And as you well know, this is happening. This is the future of the church. I was at Mass with Bishop Foley past week at daily Mass at St. Francis, and he was talking about this springtime of the faith that he is witnessing even in our own diocese. And he himself said, we got Father John McDonald over here, another convert to the faith. And he said he's illustrative of this trend. So there is great hope, I think, even in these small convinced communities, that we can, in fact, expect God to do great things and see for our own future the next Thérèse of Lisieux, the next Elizabeth Lesueur, the next Dom Chotard to come out of the CCM in Birmingham, Alabama. Why not? Why can't it happen here? And a very, very prominent Protestant historian, Alistair McGrath, notes this. Since about 1990, prominent Protestants, including evangelicals, have been converting, crossing the Tiber to Catholicism, some going to Orthodoxy, the falling apart of Protestant faith in North America. Now, I just want to leave you with this one thought about confraternities. In a previous incarnation of this talk, I had imagined giving a lot more history on what a confraternity is, the theology behind confraternities. There's a kind of a rich history in the Catholic Church of confraternities, but theologically going all the way back into the book of Genesis, really. But they were incredibly important in medieval Catholicism, and they were very, very important in resisting the inroads of the Protestant Reformation. John Bossy, who's a social historian of Christianity, said they were the most characteristic expression of late medieval Christianity. And I love this Peter Bruegel's picture of the peasant wedding. I threw that in there because that's what a lot of the medieval confraternities did. They ate. They would have Mass, and they would pray the Rosary and have other devotions, and then they had communal meals. So they're a very important part of Catholic history. Now, the conclusion, there's Pius IX. Give me truly Christian mothers, and I will renew the face of the earth. So you Christian mothers, go renew the face of